What's up guys, get ready to battle and welcome to part 4 of me explaining every single area in the Rift. Last episode we did the West Village and I explained to the best I could with a basically completed profile. Next up we have the Mirrorverse, which I think works perfectly well. There are a few interesting things about the Mirrorverse. First of all, it takes 10 total minutes to get in here and 0 seconds to complete it. While you are in the Mirrorverse, your timer is not ticking. You can spend as long as you want. You can do this in one session. You can take just 4 hours to complete the Mirrorverse. But you get to complete it all in one sitting, which is very good. You get to just do it all right now, which I think is very useful. Also another thing about Mirrorverse is that it's mirrored. There's a lot of mirror things in the Mirrorverse. I don't need to F5 to talk to myself. I can talk to the mirror. Perfect. So now, I'm going to try to explain all the different puzzle rooms. The Mirrorverse is amazingly a bunch of puzzles in quick succession. An important thing to note is here's Dr. Emmett, but he's mirrored. You can always see these particles to know where he is, but also he's always in the mirror version and never in the real version. So you can always talk to him to learn. He has more info. He says about doing this whole thing, but it's only if this is the first time. To enter this room, you simply need to have your mirror version do all the actions that you need to do, such as right-clicking. So if you right-click on either on any of the wool, then the Mirrorverse version, while you're looking away from it, will always manage to hit the right one, even though we can see the arm is not moving at all when it would normally move if there's a lever. But that's how you complete room number 1. Flip all the levers using your Mirrorverse version. Room number 2 gets kind of ruined by a solver. 1 second. Okay, I've just made it a lot harder now. So, as we can see, there's a bunch of lava. There's also a whole bunch of iron. We can stand on the iron, but we can't stand on the lava. The only problem is, I can't visibly see the lava, but I can look at the Mirrorverse version of myself to see what the lava is. I wonder if the mirror version is actually zooming in when I zoom in. We can talk to Dr. Emmett. In every room, I placed a button in case you want to back out. So you can click this one to escape and just panic. If you click that, you're immediately out of the room. You can just go back by doing this, or you can talk to him or Emmett to go to whatever rooms you completed. Now the problem is you don't know where you're supposed to be, and it also burns you by being in the lava. And if you're in the lava for too long, the funny thing is, you can still do a little bit of parkour. If I'm here, I can just fat finger and not actually land perfectly, because the lava has some extra time before it burns you, which means you basically can solve this easily. We need to actually go this way with the Mirrorverse. Go parkour up here to land and be fine. Like, look, even the Mirrorverse version isn't landing in the lava. It's fine. Walk over here. You can just keep jumping, not have to care too much. Just don't be in for too long, because you will get teleported back. Good, over here. Now the problem is I still can't enter. Why is that? I have to make the Mirrorverse flip this lever to open the door. And that's puzzle room number 2. Now, oh god, okay, so, but remember that red at the beginning? As you see, the whole thing is red. That's showing where you can walk because of a solver in Skyblocker. Skyblocker is a very good program that probably has this on by default. So if you see this and you have Skyblocker, that's what's going on. You don't have to be worried about what's going on. This is completely intended with that mod. And there's also no rules against it. So you can more easily just kind of jump without really caring where you're going. And then if you mess up, oh no, I'm in lava. Anyways, time to haphazardly care. The first time I did here, I wasn't really paying attention to the mirror gimmick in this room, because I had the solver just automatically on. You can just go basically the whole way without really thinking. So if you want a little bit of fun, turn off the solver, and then you can turn on the solver if it's a problem, such as in a future room. Now, this is room number 3. This is a mirror room that also involves crafting. That's right, we're gonna have to craft. And we're not even gonna be able to mine in any of these rooms. I don't think I have any extra items on me. In this room, what you need to do is you kill the mobs that are on the ground, such as this spider here. I have to have the mirror version of myself kill the spider. It gets weakened and eventually dies. I can't. But it's also hard to do. And you get GNIRTS, which is string backwards. It's even Even says Minecraft string, but the MBD data is Skyblock mirrored string. That's how all these items are. We have the slime for a slime ball, because back then, leads still use a slime. We have all the string from these silverfish, and we kill these baby zombies to get wood. Wood make planks, planks make this fishing rod, bow, lead. We put it in this order, and we get this tiny hammer. Somehow. Don't ask how it's a tiny hammer somehow. Once we use this because there's a lever here. But we can't actually use the lever, because it's stuck in place. You need a tool to budget. So we make this tool, and we get this axe. What the... there's also the crafting table, which is over here, which is what lets you craft these items. So you need to use this axe that you eventually craft. That I'm not doing because I thought it was really annoying to open here. You will also need additional items in here, because you will need to make... I'm realizing that actually in my other guides I didn't grab the... I'm realizing past me, which is now the mirror version of me, as you can tell by the fact that its attacks are delayed, didn't actually put in future info for their materials. So I'm not doing that yet, but you will need to come back and get more sticks later. So for now, you break this axe, and you open into the next room. Here's Dr. Emmett. Some of the experiments have harder difficulty with unique rewards. You may activate in this room using the hidden wooden button. Hidden wooden button is right here. Now, what's this room? Well, as you may notice, I was not prepared to see that today. As you may notice, there's a bunch of wood in this room. But there's also... I have it on. Turn that off. As you may notice, there's more wood on the bottom than there is on the top. Why is that? Well, if you try to go to any of this wood, it just ceases to exist, because it's fake. This is one that I think I probably would not have... Actually, I'm realizing there's only one path now. I thought there was multiple fake exits, and there wasn't. But if you copy future you, or copy the mirror of you, you're able to see what the correct path is. So you can go jump correctly where to go. So it's like, it says to go here. You can go. Even though it also says there. So just skip that whole area. So there's some that are not needed, but some that are needed. It's kind of weird like that. But an important thing here is I'm going to now go to the front to show. This room now has harder difficulty. To get to the harder difficulty, you actually need to turn this on. What does it do? It makes lavas break under you, but you're somewhat impervious to lava. If you complete it in hard mode, you get a talisman. It does nothing in the rift, but it's rift transferable, and it gives you a bonus in the other world. So if you turn this on, then it means you don't have much time to stand. You kind of have to run, you have to look up, you hear the noise of it breaking. And I'm going to see how far I can go without turning on a helper. Okay, not very far. One second. The Skyblocker helper for this section is much less in your face about it. It shows you a red block on all the ones that are real. So I can just run across and get all the ones that are real. You can also skip this corner. Save time. If you go here, just follow the path. You do not have much time to stand. And most of your standing time you're using to reposition yourself so you don't fall. So you do this to make sure nothing bad happens. Also, sometimes need to go a little bit backwards slightly. Oh god, I'm lost. The floor broke below me, and I'm lucky I'm not dead. But you just need to... I went the wrong way. I'm getting to the end of the section. One second. And like that. I just realized this was about to break. But if you complete all the end, then you get to here. Inside this chest is a test bucket, please ignore. Was that all a test? You can get this accessory, which accessories only happen once per, so you don't need a second accessory. I can explain at the end what it means, because I don't remember off the top of my head what it means. And also the wiki doesn't remember either. You enter this room. Next up we have an actual person. That one's not part of the bit. That one's just a human. As you can see, there's me in a mirror. I'll just have it stand like here-ish. But did you know? Actually, here, maybe you explain. Or that explain on accident what happened. Or I have to do this. I'm actually stuck in the Mirrorverse. I do not have a physical representation anymore. ... Anyways, in this puzzle experiment, toggle which mirror is active by clicking on it. As you can see, nothing in here, or nothing in the real world, nothing in this mirror, but in this mirror, There is. Wait, what the? Okay, that's probably not supposed to happen. He's still punching. Oh well, good to know. But if you click here, it immediately mirrors you. But if you stop, it stops wherever you stopped. Which means I can have it stand here and stand on this pressure plate. Which means I can now walk through the pressure plate. This room now has a bunch of mirrors. I can make future me stand there. Mirror, stand over here. Mirror, stand the next one. Mirror, stand the next one. And follow this pattern to fully enter every single secret. Here we go. It's also another instance of him. Yeah. I guess I have to turn this one, make this one real. Try to think outside the box. Make sure to check all sides of the box. If only had a head fully, I wouldn't be stuck in a bunch of mirrors. So notably there is this room over here, which has a door. They're able to right click through the door. I can push this button, which I'm guessing does nothing unless you have a person standing here. If you do that, then you can push this button, which gives you a timer until... Okay, I guess you didn't see it. Until... Ignore that. That was their thing. That was not my thing. But you jump up, so we can see around, and we can see that over here, there's an opening where if we jump up, we can enter. So we can flip this. We stand here. We jump up. And now we can also see both locations have a small area. We can see where we're standing. We can see where it's standing. I did not mean to click it. There's a pressure plate right there. There's also a button over there that's like more delayed. But that ding we heard, this door is now open over here. So what we can do is, if we do this, it's staying the door open. The only problem is, how do we jump up there? Well, we also can't open this door because there isn't anyone staying on the pressure plate to keep the door open. But what we can do is there's a button right here. Click it, quickly switch, and run over to the door. And now we're here on a block. We can now walk in this door, and we are now standing on the pressure plate to open the door. If we swap to this, they're now stuck, standing on the pressure plate, and we're able to enter. Hey, does your brain hurt? Fortunately, this room is 100% optional. Click the button at the end to skip it. But there is a chest that has a special talisman, which I believe gives 1 intelligence, that we can only get if we complete this puzzle, which I did not mean to just pick up right there. Let me throw it in the corner. What? Is he still in this room? Or is that just his ghost? I think it's just his ghost. There's 2 of him. There's 3 of him. He left. It's weird. But how would this work? How to solve this room? You make this one real, and if you stand here, there's a button. This button makes you jump up. The way place you're supposed to jump up is over here, which unfortunately I didn't. You jump up, it's up to here, and there's a lever. There's also a place to stand, which if we stand here, we can hear a lever opening the iron door. We can also be standing on a pressure plate right now. Stand on this pressure plate. It also causes another effect to happen. The only problem is we are now following and we're not in that pressure plate room. So what can we possibly do? Well, what we can do is make this real again. Stretch the pressure plate. Okay, the lever's not flipped anymore. I'm guessing it's a timer thing? I've forgotten it. So I am going to figure it out through brute force. It's a lever here. Flip it. Fall back down. You're not actually supposed to switch yet. You actually come up here into this room. And this room has a pressure plate here, which actually opens up the ability to, in this room, become in this reality. So what we do is actually freeze that version over there, and we flip this lever. Or no, we're supposed to push the button and have us jump up into this hole, which I forgot to do. We're supposed to jump up here. We need to have the door open so we can push right click here. I forgot, 1 second. I've now realized what my problem was. There's a button right here that does the same explosion thing. Just has a bit more time. So you stand here to enter this room. Now you become this room to stay on the pressure plate. And you quickly swap over. Or you just do that. I forgot which. Anyways, you come down here. actually, here, let me wait till there's a non-person here. Okay, I think the problem is this room might be the hardest room of the individual puzzle rooms. In fact, I don't even have the accessory for doing the harder version of this room. How to do it is you stand on this, and it goes bottom B. It says move, so you move, and then you move, then you move. But the second wave, it says to actually do a certain thing, sneak or stand. So you go on the plate and you sneak or stand. Now it keeps the same thing for one more pattern before it adds an additional level of difficulty. So you just sneak, stand, sneak, stand, sneak, stand, sneak and jump, which means you have to be in air when it says jump. Sneak and don't jump means you have to be on the ground at the time. Which feels a bit weird because then you have to do 4 different actions. Also, notably here, it's like different type of beat. Dang it, I jumped. So, once you eventually complete it, or at least get far enough, then the hole in the middle, stop doing the beat. This hole in the middle will open up and you're able to jump through. But it will also tell you keep going, and you will get access to a certain relic for the ballerina accessory. For that, you need to do it a few more times, but it also includes punching during each beat. Or not each beat, but when you do the action that it makes you, you also punch. It's hard enough that I have not, so I might just skip it with the button. Notably, that one also gets a lot harder if there's other people doing the puzzle room at the same time. Once you complete this room, you go back, you fall through this hole. As you can see, it's the person who was doing it before. You go here, there's this chest here, that if you complete the full dance, you get to open. Funny enough, by now, you know what this particle means. And then you learn more lore from Dr. Emmett about how the Mirrorverse, the knowledge, and you also get this tubulator. It's a laser pointer. It points at lasers. For now, I'm going to turn off my helper. When you enter this room, you can see the mirror version. I said maybe I should talk to him. Go on, time's infinite, but you can still run out of it. I don't know why I said maybe you should talk to him. But there is the block there, which is also the block in real life. Except you have to stand on it, and you have to do parkour up. So how do you do that? Well, there is a way to help. You were given this Emmett pointer, which will show you where they are. Which also helps if you stare at the block, you right click, the mirror will show you where the block is. So you also know where the corners are, which will help you when doing parkour. So you can see the next block, you can jump to the next block. See the next block, you can jump to the next block. You're still doing parkour, except now you have less knowledge as to where the blocks are. We reached checkpoint 1. Notably, now you can teleport. If you fall down, you can click the checkpoint 1 button and come back up to where you last left off, which is helpful. Unfortunately, for most people, if you want to get the bonus accessory for completing this section, or for doing the hard mode of this section, you cannot use any of the checkpoints. Which means if you fall down, you have to come all the way back up. This is actually not as bad as I thought. I missed. Yeah. So you stand up, checkpoint 2. Checkpoint 3, you have to keep doing laser, jump, laser, jump, laser. Also, look, you don't even know when your own corners are. Or if you fall off, then you have to go all the way back or use a checkpoint. But if you use a Skyblocker solver, like I've done with the other second room, then you just have the floating block here, and you're able to more easily parkour to it. Not only that, but you also know immediately where you're standing, so you can more easily do parkour all the way up. I say the power solver, but after testing it with just the laser pointer, I don't know if it's as necessary as I thought it was. There are some pretty hard jumps that you need to do. Look, checkpoint 3. So you also checkpoint up here with an additional room. Go jump, being all the way with an additional person, and you go up here, and then this chest, a miniature tubulator. I also forgot what the reward for this one is. Either way, once you've done with that chest, and you enter through the rest of the room, you are now in the final room. There is Dr. Emmett here. See you again. He rewards you for completing the thing with 50,000 motes, which is a lot of motes. Or 60,000, sorry. You get the congratulations. You can buy the Mirrorverse Time Charm, the Time Charm that you need to actually complete everything, for 10 Shadow Truxes and 10,000 motes. You also get this Iron Chestplate upgrade for your chestplate, using your previous chestplate, and 12 Shadow Crux. For the cost of you get 15 bonus Rift Time. There's also a enchanted book bundle. It's Rift transferable, you're able to bring it out of the Rift. And it's a book of Reflection 1, or 3 copies of Reflection 1, which grants Intelligence 2, True Defense 1, and when damaged by an arrow, you'll double your intelligence to the shooter. Which is nice to also have an enchant that gives you True Defense at the cost of 5,000 motes and 16 Shadow Crux. And estimated value, according to my helper, is 750 grand. Once you complete everything in the Mirrorverse, then you can take the Time Charm back to home. If you do take the Time Charm that you have recently bought in the Mirrorverse and you bring it over to Elise, you can place it away from the other Time Charm. You place it all the way. Where is it? I'm lost. Oh, I'm dumb. It's right next to her. It actually is right next to her, just the other direction. You place it right here. This reward will give you 50 additional seconds of Rift Time, which will make a total of 110 seconds while on the Rift, and your real world version will get an additional 20 health and 10 intelligence and 1 magic find, for a total of just 20 health, 20 intelligence, 2 magic find. And 2 magic find's still pretty good. I don't know how much the potion is that does it, but 2 for free is not bad. As a final note for the rewards, doing room 4's bonus test with the disappearing blocks gets you true defense, half of a true defense point, making it so you always take less damage. Room 5 bonus point gives you 1 intelligence. Room 6 bonus one, which I do not have, gives you 1 crit damage. And room 7 bonus one gives you 1 health. Hope you all enjoyed watching this Rift guide. I'll catch you all in part 5 where we talk about the farm. Bye.